Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Had a great weekend. Let's just make sure we're going live, and then we can carry on. Okay, looks like we're live. So, thanks everybody for joining us. I did, as some of you might have seen, I did a little stream half an hour ago, 15 minutes ago, where we did a 600 sub prize giveaway. So everybody who commented on my 600 sub video was entered in the draw, and Mr. Ron Wayne won out the front knife. So congratulations, Ron, and I just want to say thanks everybody for who steps to me. So we went past the 600, and I'm up to, I think, 617. So my next draw will be 750. I'm going to miss 7 when we go to 750 because that's a nice big number. So when I hit 750, we'll give away some more prizes. So hopefully all you guys will be here to join us when we do that, and hopefully it won't be too long. So let me just quickly run down and say hi to everybody, and then get on with what we're going to do tonight. Side chat is bouncing already. G23 was first. Tactical FUD. MC. Walter Viejo's with us. Good to see you guys. Tactical FUD. Michael Dunn's with us. Hillbilly up. Good to see you, Hillbilly. Defer 426. I believe that's a new name for me. Good to see you. Glad you could join us, and welcome. Mrs. Wayne is with us. Good to see you. G23. You guys are bouncing in the side chat. There's a load of comments. Brutal Bob's with us. Hi, Bob. How you doing? Andre D'Angelo. I always get tongue-tied on your name. I'm sorry. Good to see you. Two live moves with us. Michael Dunn. James Pollard's with us. Hi, James. 190384. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Info Brothers is with us. James Pollard. And that's where we are at the moment. So don't forget, guys, we'll do the prize draw like we always do on my streams. So tonight is going to be hashtag Mac1818. And I got my channel sticker, MacMan039 Reloading. I got see that there's a Daniel Defense sticker. I don't want to pull the front off it, but there's a Daniel Defense one there. I got the little pocket screwdriver again. And I got some more of these. These are always going down well. The 5-piece magnet, Mac Tools, little logos. You got the Pin-Up Girl, red, white, and blue, the skull. And there's a turbo one and a little pickup truck. These all pop out here. They're all magnetic, so they'll stick up on your gun safes or anywhere like that. So we've got those four little giveaways tonight, guys. So just hashtag Mac18. What I'm going to talk about tonight, a lot of you probably already know it and done it, but I had a couple of messages over the last couple of weeks from newer guys, and they just happened to ask, so when you come back from the range, what do you do with your brass? How do you go about sorting it? What do you use? So I thought I'd just talk about that tonight. How I do it. Any guys want to put comments out there what they do? There's always new reloaders out here, and it's always handy for them to pick up on it. So I'm just going to go through, show you what I do, what bits and pieces I use, and how I get around it. AR Gun 1776 is with us. How you doing, Elliot? Good to see you. Trying to keep an eye on all the comments. So, and the reason I did it as well is one of my customers went to the range and he gave me a big old box of brass, used brass that he picked up. There's all sorts in there. So it's great that we go through and we'll sort that out tonight and we'll go through the whole process of what I do. So don't forget, guys, hashtag Mark18 will get you in the draw, and we can start counting, and we'll do the spin in about 45 minutes, something like that. So let me turn the camera. So this is what my customer gave me. He gave me a box load of all assorted brass. So I thought, okay, I'm going to leave it in the box and we'll do a stream on it with a couple of people that have asked about it. So when I do my brass sorting, I always wear gloves, guys. The brass is dirty to start with. It's been on the ground. There's burnt powder in it. There's probably primer residue. So just get a pair of gloves. You're not handling all the crap off them. So, and it's not essential, but always wear glasses, safety glasses. Whenever you're in the loading room and you're doing anything, let's be safe. Gloves on to protect your fingers and everything from all the crap and the dirt. And then obviously safety glasses is just, everybody uses safety glasses. So it's something that I do, and I always wear my glasses. And then I often go down to Goodwill, and last time I went, I picked up these little containers. I think they were 50 cents each. So $2 got me 4 of these little plastic containers. So I like to put them up on the bench. I got a couple of these other ones if we have overflows. So I have them up on the bench. So as we're sorting through the brass, I can put them into containers in their sizes while we're doing it. And then once it's done, if you want to go in and sort them more afterwards, we can do that as well. And what I like to use is the Dillon, to show you, the Dillon sorting pans. So they come as a set of 3. So the darker one is the smallest holes, and they'll hold the 9 mils and the 380s. The middle one holds 40s, 38 special, 357s, and then they sit in there. And then the biggest one, that'll catch the 308 44 mags, 45 ACPs, so anything large like that. So you can just use an old bucket because there's always dust and dirt, and the smaller stuff like 22 and all can just fall all the way through, and you can pull them out at the end, and they'll you can go in your scrap bin. So all I'm going to do, I set it up like that. Gloves are on, and you're just going to grab handfuls of this brass, throw it in. Gets a bit noisy. And all I'm going to do is I keep each one take them through, and all that's left in the top are going to be your larger brass. So we've got 44. It's 44 mag there, so I can just pull them out. They can go into a bucket. These are all 44 mags, I believe. I'll just go into a pot. There's a couple of 308. They're not the military rounds, they're LC brass. So they go into a bucket. There's another one there. And then there's a 45 ACP there. So pretty much I do that for the first section. The next one then. Sometimes you get brass stuck in each other. It's a good time to go through and just sort it out, get rid of it. That's pretty much it. And then in here, there's another one stuck inside. You just pull them apart, drop it in the bottom. So in here then, we're going to have, there's some 10 mils. You can see they're completely different to a 40. A lot longer, so you, by hand you can just put them out. So I've got 40 in one box, 10 mil in another, some more 40s here. Just pull them out, drop them in the bucket. There's a steel round, AK round. That's scrap. That's going to go in. That's actually going to go in the trash. I don't even throw that in my scrap brass. That's actually going to be trash. And then what we got left in here then, the 40. Couple more 40s, and normally the 38 and 357, you can see they just hang up on their collars. So with these, I just chuck them all into one bin for now, and I sort the 37, 357 and 38s out. And the other thing I do, guys, I don't load any of these nickel cases. So I don't get a lot of them, but if anybody wants nickel cases, just let me know and I'll put them in a box and I'll ship them to you. Otherwise, I just throw them away. So there's the middle tray and then the bottom tray. There's a aluminum case there. That's scrap. Again, there's some nickel cases that I'm just going to pick out and get rid of those. And what's left in here then is going to be the 223, 9 mil, and any 380 as well. So let me just get another box out. So I'm going to pull out all the 223s. Chuck them in a bin. That one's got a pretty nasty ding in it. You can see that. That's going to go straight in my scrap can. So I just like to pick out, there's a steel case 223. That's going to go for scrap. Actual steel scrap, I don't do it. Any bad brass goes in a recycle bin and I get rid of it. I just sell it. When my bin is full, I'll just go out and I'll sell it and get a little bit of money back. Leave comments, guys. Let me know if this is how you do it or how you do it. And there's always new people watching, so it's always good to drop some comments. There's another nasty looking piece of brass. It's all blemished. It'll probably clean up, but I got so much 223, I can go in the brass recycle bin. And there you go. So all that's left in there now is mainly 9 mil and possibly some 380. There's a 380 there. So that's going to be another bucket. I'm going to dump them in like that. You can see the 22 falls straight through and any dirt and grime goes straight through. It doesn't take long to do this. I enjoy doing it. It's always good to have lots and lots of brass. You can never have enough. Okay, you can see Gizzard Gary has joined us. Chris from the 740 has joined us. Bubba Triclops Ballistics is with us. Just check if anybody else jumped on. What do you want, Bubba? Do you want the the nickel cases. If you wanted, I'll just save all my nickel cases and I'll ship them to you. Walter says nickel cases are always good for one-time fire and forget. Leave them in the trash at the range. Pretty much. I don't reload them, Walt. I don't like reloading. I have done in the past on 357s when they were really short, but I tend to pull them out now and just scrap them. Especially when you've got great customers like us that give you this much brass. So again, we can go first batch, pull out the 44 mags, and there's also a 44 special there, a little bit shorter. They can all go into the same bucket. And then when we go through each bucket, we can sort them out. And then we've got the 45s. Hopefully I'm not coming off screen too much. The 45s are done. You just keep moving this stuff around, and eventually it all either stays there or just falls through into the next bin. See, the odd one gets stuck. You just have to pull them apart. And there we go again. So again, you can see the difference straight away between 10 mil and 40. You can see it's quite a bit of difference in length. So they're easy to sort. So you can just drop the 10 mils and then the 40s in the bucket. There's one loaded round there, so I will probably pull that. I'll get it pulled, get rid of the powder, and then scrap it. Because obviously you don't know what powder's in there. There's another nickel case that I don't want. Another 40, sorry, another 10 mil. So the 40s can come out, 10 mils over there. And once you've done this step, guys, you can actually go in and you can decide if you're going to split them into head stamp groups or just leave them as mixed brass. I used to be all mixed brass, but I'm started doing a lot more hand loading. I do, instead of using the Dillon. I tend to separate everything up and put it into head stamps. 38s and 357s. And then here you can see again this nickel. Pretty easy to see. So you can just go in there and pick them out. You can see the nickel stuff. Pretty easy. And then just go and pick up the 223. Some people might say this is boring, but at the end of the day, spend a bit of time doing this. Look how much you save. If you're going to go and buy factory rounds, or you're going to buy new brass every time, and you're not going to spend the time doing this little job, this saves you so much money. Especially the way prices shot up over the last few years. Whenever you can get this stuff. There is a lot of military brass in here. You can see military brass seems to run hotter. So you can see the top of it is tarnished more than normal brass. And you know straight away that that's military. So that'll be sorted from, I'll sort military out from commercial 223, because obviously commercial, most of it isn't crimped, where most of the military is crimped. So you have to do another process before you reload. You've got to cut the crimp off. So again, once we've done all these, we can go through each box and do another sort. And all that's left in there then is the 9 and the few 380s. A little bit of dirt in there. Some of the 22s came through into that, but I tipped them out. When I tipped them out, I tipped the 22s out as well. Yeah, that's got most of them out. So you start collecting up the 22s or any other smaller pieces of brass. Quickly go through the comments again, guys. And do a little bit more, and then I'll do the next stage, what I tend to do. Peterson Farms of Nashville has joined us. Good to see you. Good to see you, Phil. Tim McDowell has jumped on. Thank you. Good to see you. Michael Dunn is there. Doug Thomas. Walter says it's not just about saving money. We also learn plenty from handling the brass. That's right, because when you're picking it up, you're going through it, you're seeing it, you're cleaning it, you're checking for splits. There's all sorts to do. Michael Dunn says, yeah, when it gets annealed, it gets tarnished on the top as well. But most of that stuff, Mike, it's only been fired once. And you can see the crimp is still on it, so I know just by looking at it, it's that military stuff. C&T Designs and Arms has joined us. Good to see you. G23 is there. Okay, drink. I'll do one small batch again, guys, and then I'll do the next section that I do. Remember, all this was given to me by a customer. It hasn't cost me nothing. I haven't even had to pick it up. He just put it into a box in a bag and then just given it to me. And to be honest with these plastic sorters, I think you're probably talking $30 for the set of 3. They're not expensive. Like I said, I got these from Dillon. There's probably other companies that do them, but like I said, Dillon's just up the road from me, so I can just drive up there and pick stuff up, so I don't even have to worry about postage. So like I said, 44 specials, 44 mags in that bucket. All those, what are left, are all 45 ACP. So they can go in there. After the 223 stuff, just pull out, drop into the next. So what we're left with, let's get some of these 10 mils out, which is always pretty hard to find. If you can get hold of 10 mil, it's always good to hang on to, because it's quite hard to find an expensive brass to buy. And then the 40s, like I say, we can just pull the 40s out. I don't shoot any of the 40s. I keep the brass, just put it in boxes, and it's always here then. If I need to load for some of my friends and they got 40s, I can load some 40s up. But all my guns are all 10 mil. I don't do anything with 40s, guys. But never throw it away. Just always sit on your brass. You don't throw any of this stuff away. More 10 mils, some 40s. And you can see all the 357s and 38s, they just hang up. So there's a few more nickel ones in there that I'm just going to pull out quickly, turn them around, have a look. You can see they're all, it's pretty much all brass in there now. So the nickel can go over there. Just dump that in there. And as you're going through, there's another loaded round in there. 380 ACP that didn't go off, but it's an aluminum case, so I don't need that. 2, 3 nickel case. And then just, you can see them quickly as you're going through, and I just pick them out. So there's the one I was talking about. You can see how much of a blemish is on that. So this is actually military brass, and it still has the crimp on it. So you can see that. So that has been annealed. So you can see straight, that's military brass, crimped. So it's something that'll have to be sorted out when we get to that bin. So I'm just gonna finish these up, and then we'll go and we'll do the next step that I tend to do. Any questions, guys, just throw them out there. I'll try and answer them. Or there's people out there that if I can't answer them, will certainly be able to help, I would have thought. And it doesn't, you can get through this pretty quick. And sometimes it's better to do that, because if you just throw all these in your dry tumbler or your wet tumbler as just a big batch of brass, you tend to get problems where the 40s or 40s inside the 45s, and then you'll have a bunch then that aren't clean, or they'll be full of media and things like that. So, and there you can see there's some live 22s in there. So I'd go through and I'm going to pick those live ones out, because I don't want them going into the recycle bin with the rest of it. You can see he's chucked a couple of live ones. So I got a couple of live 22s. So they're gonna just go into the rubbish. At the end of the day, the last thing you're going to do is be taking live rounds to your scrap, man. That's an old one, unfired, but look how old that is. Look how corroded that one is. He must have just found that on the floor and just picked that up. Can you see that? Look how old that is. Pretty nasty. Put that one down nice and quiet. So there, I picked out all the live ones, and then all just the brass I can put in my recycle bin. Okay, so let's do the next step, what I like to do. And that's where all these bins and everything come in handy, guys. It's just they all stack inside each other. They don't take up much space, and it's so handy just to throw everything in. MCK joined us, but he's heading to work. He's got his ears on, so he's listening as he's going. Tommy Boy has joined us. Good to see you, Tommy. Tim McDowell is there with us. Bubba, thanks for joining us. If you're still on, don't forget, hashtag Mark18 to get you in the draw. And we'll do the draw in a little bit, 45 minutes. And if you win, I'll let you know, Bubba. But if you have a chance, just get in on the draw. But Bubba's leaving us. He's off to work. James Paula says, I'm ready for a beer after watching all this work. Nothing wrong with having a beer afterwards. You don't want to be doing it while you're doing it. Beer and reloading does not mix. Okay. Let's move this camera over here, guys, and put this down in here. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, so there's the 44s. So what I tend to do is just tip them out. And then instead of just going through and picking them all out and looking, I just put them side by side. Hopefully you can see that. Let me bring this in a bit closer. I just lay them down side by side, and you'll see straight away if there's 44 mags or if there's any 44 specials in there. So there's one there. So you can see there. Bring that up. I'll put it over there. So by putting them side by side there, there's a 44 mag on the left, 44 special on the right. And you can see straight away, just by lining them up, one shorter than the other. So you know straight away, just pull that 44 special out, start a new run with them, and just make sure all the rest are all mags. And you can do this if you're pulling out your 40s and your 10 mils. It's a little bit harder with 9 mil and 380. They're a bit more of a pain because they're closer together in size. There's another 44 special, a short one, so that one can go up there. And there you go. So you can see straight away, you got the 44 mags lined up, and then there's two 44 specials, which can go in a separate box, but all the rest, these are all the same length. So I would do that. And the next thing then, especially with these now, I'm always looking for Starline brass. If you've noticed lately, I've been buying a lot of Starline brass and using it. It's amazing brass. So I tend to use Starline brass and keep it aside. And then other than that, I also keep a lot of the WW Winchester brass. So I'll just pick these up, quickly look down them. So WW can go there. And then the rest then is, you got CBC, and there's some Remington brass there, which I can use as mixed brass. And all I'm doing is just picking and going through them and just sorting them out. So WW brass, CBC, those are all CBCs. WW. If you can see on them, so these are, if I get this right on the camera without this glare coming through. So this is just, it just says WW Super, and I believe this is Winchester brass, and I've got a lot of this Winchester brass, so I tend to keep that in batches. So there's that. There you see WW Super, 44 Remington mag, So I like to keep that brass separate. That's one of my go-tos. I keep that on Starline. So there's those. Winchester and CBC. Winchester and CBC. CBC. So, and that's 44 mag and special sorted. So we've got a couple of 44 specials. We'll just go in my mixed brass for 44 special. These are all going to go in just mixed 44 mag brass, even though that's all CBC brass. And then the Winchester brass at the top here, that's all going to go in into my Winchester brass, because that's one of my go-tos. And then once I've done that, I'll put these into see up here. I got all my totes up there, and so you've got 44 mag mixed brass in this one. So all that mixed brass can go in there. And if you look down here, it's 44 Winchester brass, which is the WW Super. Excuse me, the WW Super down in there. This is all clean, ready to go. And normally on my second shelf up here is going to be dirty. So I keep these in batches, and once I got enough, then I'll put them into a tumbler and clean them, and they can go then into the bottom lot where it's ready to load. So there's that. And let's just do some of this 223 brass. Like I said, a lot of you guys know all this as well, but there's a few people, like I said, emailed me, and I just wanted to. I thought it'd be good to do a little stream on it and just let everybody know how I do it. And if there's any questions out there, just throw them out there. Tommy Boy saying CBC brass has thick walls. It will mess up your crimp easily. Yeah, it's something that I'll just leave as mixed brass. The only time I'm probably going to use that is, say somebody calls, or one of my customers says, do you fancy go shooting the weekend? And I go, yeah, we can do that. And I'll ask them, what do you fancy shooting? And if they say, oh, you've got to bring a 44 mag, I'll load that stuff up, and I'll just make it up as plinking rounds to rum. And I tend to use that stuff then for when I take customers and things out, rather than using my good stuff. Walter says, Max live streams are always very active. Time seems to fly by. He loves it. Thank you, Walter. I appreciate that. I try and keep it interesting. And like I said, if I got any guys that ask me questions or want me to do a stream, I'll try and do it. Michael Dunn, I only have 9mm brass, so I do trim all mine to the same length. First firing. Yeah, it'll make it a lot different when it comes to putting the crimp on if you trim them. I don't tend to trim my pistol brass. Like I said, I tend to put it into batches, into manufacturers' batches, and leave it at that, and they're not too far out. Abigail has joined us. Good to see you, Abigail. Glad you could join us. Tommy says Hornady uses them FTX rubber tip bullets, and the brass needs to be separated to itself. If you want those bullets, you have to trim for that bullet or use this brass. Yeah, I'm doing a series at the moment on 4570, Tommy, and I had some used brass that I was good enough to have from Gene from Reloading from the Hot Pot. And you can see this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the camera very well, but there's the Hornady. The Hornady is on the right hand side, and then there's a WW Winchester on the left. And even by eye, look at the difference in length of that brass. That Hornady brass is quite a bit shorter. Hopefully you can see that, guys. So what Tommy's talking about there is that the Hornady brass is a lot shorter, and you have to be a bit careful. So I've separated all the Hornady out and then all the other brass. So I'll load all the other manufacturers can be loaded together. This will be loaded with just those. I think I got something flex bullets from Hornady. These Monoflex 45, 250 grain. So this is what he's talking about. That you'll just need to be a little bit careful with that Hornady bullet in a 45-70. I don't know if it's the same in any other type of round, but and Walter says S&B brass has tight primer pockets. I quite like Winchester brass, Abigail. I use it in a lot of my 44 mag, and I think I've got a big bunch of 44 special Winchester brass as well, and that's my go-to brass, and I really like it. I don't do any reloading with shotgun stuff, so I don't know how good or bad that stuff is, but I really like the Winchester brass. Okay, so let's get back. So with normally this would be cleared away, bagged up, or put in boxes once I've done each bucket load of a particular size of brass. But I'll just leave it there for now. And then with if you can see this, guys, I have this little magnifying glass, which really helps with us old people. Our eyes go as we're getting older. So it's always handy. I can have that, and I can bring the brass up in there, and it's a lot easier to read. So both those military brass, one's Lake City, and the other one, I can't make out what it is. In fact, it's 223, I believe that is. Yeah, so that's 223 brass with no crimp, and that's Lake City. So what I'm going to be doing is the commercial or 223 brass I put to one side, and all the military brass I separate out, because when it comes to the reloading process, you want to be cutting the crimp off. So there's one again, commercial, military. And even looking at them, look at that bottom one, you can see they've got glue in them. Some of those military brass, they put glue in around the primer, and you can also see the crimp on them as well, where they've been crimped down. So both those, well, the bottom one is LC, it's Lake City brass. You actually see this one's fired because it's still got the original glue in there that they used when they actually loaded this up. So again, all goes onto the military brass side. Military, nothing. So this is probably one of the longer jobs when you're sorting out your 223 and 556 brass, but it pays because you know straight away this stuff, once you deprime it, you've got to cut the crimp off. You can keep it in a separate bucket. You can see the Persephone on the bottom, you can see the big old crimp around there. So you can keep this in a separate bucket. And another thing I've noticed, I'm saying about keeping commercial brass aside, some commercial brass I've noticed has got crimp on it as well. So it's always worth just picking it up, having a look. Because even though it says 223 Remington, and I have seen some with crimp on it, and all you're going to do is you're just going to ruin a primer. So spending a few minutes or half an hour or so going through all your 223 stuff and separating it out, it'll pay because you're not losing primers. So you can see that most of this is military. There's one with a pretty big ding in it. So that's just going to go in my recycled brass recycle bin. It's just not worth messing around with them. And the way I look at it, you see a lot of people, I don't know if you've noticed on some of the websites or some of the Facebook pages, somebody will put a piece of brass on and it'll have a dent in it or a ding, and they say, would you load this? and they get loads of comments. Yes, you can load it, whatever. At the end of the day, the way I look at it is if you pick a piece of brass up and you think, I need to ask that question, throw it away. This thing these cost me nothing. Customer gave them to me, so there's no point worrying about it. So if you're picking up brass and for any reason you think, no, I don't want to load that, or let me ask a question, is it okay to load? Don't bother asking that question. Just throw it away. There's no point messing around. And if you find any with splits and cracks in them, obviously they go away straight away. There's no point even keeping them. Just get rid of it. So this one here actually says, no, there is no crimp on it. So this is a PPU. I think it's PPU. So that's a PPU piece of brass. And you can see on there, hopefully get it in focus for you now. So that's a 223 commercial piece of brass and no crimp. Now it's been wiped off. You can actually see it says Remington 223 on it, and there's no crimp in it. So that can go in your commercial brass side, because you know you can go straight ahead and load them. You can drop the process of crimping them. Where if you look at that one, see there, you can see the crimp. See how much of a crimp it's got around the outside of the primer. It's like a little ring there that's set down. That's your crimp. That's what you're trying to get rid of. So once you pop that primer out of there, and that one's 223 Remington and is actually crimped. So that's a great example of it has to go in the other bowl. So, and there's a different style of crimp on that one. You can see the crimp going around it, and it's got little, some of these you can see they've got little lugs in them. So even though they've crimped all the way around the primer, they also put an extra little lug. You can see it just there on the top where they've actually made a little lug. And normally you get 3 of them that are on top of the crimp to make it even stronger again. So just check it in with your military stuff. And you don't have to worry about it. You're just going to cut the crimp off. Most of this 223 556 the guy has given me is all military, it's all crimp stuff. So I'll just go through these last few. And this one has actually got another interesting different style. Look, it's got PPU on it. And it actually says 556 by 45 on it. So it's actually stamped 556 on that one, which is pretty cool. You don't see many of them. And that's a PPU make. And the other one's just a straightforward piece of military brass with a crimp on it. On both those. So you can see there's, out of that batch, there was 5 commercial 223. And over here, there's a big bunch of nearly all 556 crimped. So what I would do with this, once I've finished going through the whole bucket and finished off what's in the box, this will go back in a bucket. I'll put it into my cleaner, and I'll clean all this, run them for a couple of hours, get them nice and clean. And then we'll go through, deprime them, and then we can check everything on them, and then I'll go through and we'll do a cut the crimp. And that could be another live stream I do doing crimp cutting on it. So 223 there, 223 there, 556, and it's just a matter of sorting them, so it makes it easier. It just makes it so much easier when it comes to load them, because the cost of primers, you don't want to be smashing primers on brass that hasn't been with a crimp cut off. So have a look if there's any other questions here. AR says sealed primers. Yeah, it's like there's like a glue in them or something like that. Where I don't know the reason behind it, whether it if they're going to keep them for a long time, they want to keep moisture out. I don't know. I don't know why they put glue or whatever in them. Tommy says I run all my 223 556 brass through my primer swage first time. It's like I said, it's probably a good way to do it, because you don't know if you're picking up 223 with a crimp in it as well, unless you physically do what I do, is just go through every single one, have a quick look, and see what's up there. And I can see AR's sharing some channels. That's great. I really appreciate that, AR. Appreciate you doing that. Mrs. Wayne says, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. We're almost up to date. So we're coming up on 50 minutes, guys. So we have got 26 on and 12 entries. So any of you want to jump in, we'll do the draw, say in 5 minutes. Let's just turn the camera around again. You do the draw in, say, 5 minutes time. Gives you all guys a chance. So hashtag Matt18. Let me change that so you can see it on the banner underneath. Trickle it through. There you go. Hashtag Mac18 will get you in the draw. So I'll give you another 5 minutes to go through, and just a quick rundown of what we've got here again. So we got a couple of stickers. We've got the channel logo sticker. There's you can see that there, Daniel Defense sticker. I don't want to pull the front of it because it's like a white sticker. I don't want to get it dirty. So the Daniel Defense sticker there, and the little the Mac magnets. So you've got the pin-up girl, the skull, red, white, and blue. There's a turbo one there, and a little pickup truck one. These are always popular, and I just pop these out of the. I just pop them out of this, stack them on top of each other so they can go out in a normal envelope. And also we got the little pocket screwdrivers, magnet on the top, pocket clip, and a little flat screwdriver. And for you guys that weren't on earlier, I did a little stream. It was only on for 5-10 minutes, and we did the draw for my 600 sub giveaway, where I gave away one of those little out the front knives, and Ron Wayne won it. There was I did the spinny wheel thing. I loaded everybody up, and we did it live so everybody could see that it was all done the proper way. Alaska One Andy has joined us. Good to see you. So yeah, so congratulations to Ron. He sent me his address, so I'll get that packed up with the rest of these prizes tonight. And yeah, really appreciate it. So we're at I think I'm up to like 617 subs at the moment. It just took me a while to get to 600. We hit the 600 and I dropped back down. For some reason, I was unsubbed by a couple of people. I dropped back to 598 and I hit the 600 and I'm up to like 617. So 750 is going to be the next one. That seems to be the next little golden number. So I'll find a few prizes to give away when I hit 750. And then we'll do a big party when I hit 1,000. Hopefully I can get that done this year. But I'm only on my 18th live stream or 17th live stream, and just over a year, maybe 2 years on YouTube. So it's for me to be I'm just so humble and so grateful for all you guys that have subscribed to me and getting me up there. I'm 600, over 600 now. It's mind blowing, and I just appreciate that you guys enjoy watching my content. I enjoy doing it. Hi, Chad Kelly. Chad Kelly's just joined us. Mrs. Wayne, I'm skipping tonight since Ron won the knife. Kind of feel bad I entered and won. No problem. It's a pretty nice knife. I gave a few away before, and the guys really like them. Tommy says, I worked in a gas station when I was younger as a teenager. Those little screwdrivers are what we use to reset the gas pumps. for the next customer. They're handy, and with a little magnet on the top, you can stick them on your bench. You can stick them on your loading press, your frame, and you've got a magnet there. They're handy. You can do so much with them. Okay, let's check the draw thing. Let's see where we are. We're up to 18, so I think most of you are probably jumped on here now. So let me go in and share the screen. Share screen. Giveaway StreamYard. Share. Okay, hopefully you can all see that. There's 19 entries. Somebody else just jumped in there quickly. Give it a couple more minutes and then we'll do the spin. Scottish American has joined us. Good to see you. Gizzard Gary says, my father was an auto mechanic all his life and always had those screwdrivers in his pocket. That's what they call them. They just call them pocket screwdrivers. The guys love them. There's a name and telephone number on them. They can just wear them in their pocket. They've got a little magnet on them, so they don't have to go looking for a little magnet tool. They're so handy. And everybody I seem to have given these away to really like them. So I'll keep doing it. So we're up to 19. Okay, let's do this draw, guys. We're up to 56 minutes running, so let's do this draw. Good luck, everybody, and here we go. And there you go. Phil, Peterson Farms of Nashville. Congratulations, Phil. I think I've already got your details here. Let me just double check in my address book. I'm sure I got your details here. I think I've sent out to you before. I haven't written it down. I didn't write it down, Phil. Let me just share my email. There you go. There's my email up there. Just send me your details through again. I probably got them here somewhere, but for some reason I haven't got them in my address book. So congratulations, Phil. Just send that through and I'll get those few things sent out to you. Really appreciate it. Stop the screen. Okay, what else am I doing? So hopefully that helps some of you new guys out with the sorting of brass. Big thing is gloves. I know it sounds stupid. You can always wash your hands, but just buy a box of gloves. They're like $15 for 100 gloves, and it saves you so much. You don't want to be handling all that grubby stuff, and then you can just pull them off once you're done and throw them away, and you're good to go. So glasses, gloves, and I know it's all empty shells, but as we're all being told by YouTube, we've got to push the safety side of it. They're on our backs all the time. So when we're shooting, we're using all the safety gear. When we're in the loading room, let's just be safe. Let's not give them any excuses to keep putting us down. Let's follow their rules, whether we like it or not. They're the ones that can take us down and shut us channels down. So we just got to follow their rules. We just got to suck it up at the moment. So, but yeah, be safe, guys. It's not hard to sort out. You can see me going through. I did the 44s into some 5.56, and we sorted a big batch out into those groups. Always check out your local Goodwills, because like I said, those plastic containers, you can get them from 50 cents to $1 a piece. And it's always handy to have them. And there's 4, 5, 6. I had 7 of them laid out there, and I had 7 different calipers going in those buckets, which is great. And they cost me a few bucks. So always keep an eye on what's going on in Goodwill. And what else did I have going this week? So I'm doing the series on loading 4570 from start to finish. So I think I've dropped two episodes so far, and I'm in the process of doing the third. So these have been sized. We've expanded the necks. They went back in the cleaner because we lubed them, so they've gone back in the cleaner, and then they've come out of the cleaner. So these are going to go, and we're going to bench prime these next, and that'll be the third series. Third part of this series will drop probably in the middle of the week once I've primed these. I'm splitting it up, so we're not doing a full load in one session. So I've got the 4570 going on. A lot of you saw the live stream, hopefully last week, where the 308 brass. This is this fantastic Starline brass. And I've neck cut all those, if you can see that. So these have all been neck cut. So there's 50 there. There's the first bag I've done there. I've got another 2 bags to do. So I'll neck cut the whole 150 rounds of the 308 brass. That'll be ready to load. That'll go into one of my bins, and it'll be labeled up new 308 Starline brass with a neck trim on everything. So that's all done there. So that's something else I got going. I'm also been loading some 357. This is all Starline brass. So I'm going through. I've made my first batch up. With some of my cast bullets. These are 158 grain cast, like a Keith style bullet. So I've done my first 15 at 1 powder setting, which is the lowest powder setting. I got another 15 to go, 0.2 grains up, and then I'll do another 0.2 grains up on another 15, and that'll leave me basically 5 or 10 rounds where I'll just go up another step. So I'm going to take these out, fire these, see which ones perform the best at what powder setting. I'm using Unique. I'm not going to say what the charges are on this stream, but I'm using Unique on these. Unique powder. And I've been using Federal small Magnum pistol, and I believe these are match. These are match grade. So that's what I've been loading these up with. So I got my 4570 series going. We've been doing the 308s. I got 357 that I'm actually in the process of doing at the moment. And also I've got, once I finish the 357, the next ones I'll be doing are going to be the 45 Colt. So I want to make some 45 Colt up. Let me see. I dropped a couple of videos this week, guys. I picked up that new FNX 45 Tactical in FDE. So that was a new pistol I picked up this week. So I dropped a video on that. We did a tabletop review and unboxing. The next video is when we go out and actually shoot it. So that video got dropped over the weekend. Like I said, I'll hopefully drop this 4571 during the week. And that's what I got going on, guys. That's pretty busy in the loading room. I've had a parcel in, which I could do an unboxing on. I won one of the prizes on Jamie's stream when he did his 1,000 sub stream. And I won one of the prizes. And I think it was Michael Dunn that sent that out. It only arrived, I only got it from the mailbox today. So I'll be doing an unboxing on that. So that'll be one I'll get done during the week. So let's just see who's... There's 27 on, guys. That's really good. I really appreciate all you guys jumping on here. So we had AR Gun 1776, and he's been putting up channel links for you guys to look at. I really appreciate that. AR for Elliot to do that. Dale Pogue is with us. Viejo Walter's with us. Michael Dunn. Misty Mrs. Wayne, Hillbilly Up, Scottish American joined us, Tim McDowell, Tommy Boy. Always good information from Tommy Boy, really appreciate that. C&T Designs and Arms. Phil Peterson Farms in Nashville joined us. He won the prize tonight, so congratulations on that. 2 Live Moo, Doug Thomas, Chad Kelly, Info Brothers, Andre D'Angelo was with us, Duffer 426, Gizzard Gary joined us. Walter was with us, Michael Dunn, James Pollard, G23, Tommy Boy, Alaska One, Andy McDowell. Sorry if I've called you out a couple of times, guys, but I'm just trying to remember who I shouted out. Doug Thomas. The side chat's bouncing again tonight. That's great. Really enjoyed that, guys. Abigail joined us. Good to see you. I'm not missing anybody here. A lot of side chat to go through. Hillbilly Up. MCK was with us. MC joined us. James Pollard. Bubba was with us early. He had to go to work. It's good for him to join us. C&T Designs is there. Doug Thomas. Oh, this chat was bouncing tonight, guys. Really appreciate it. Chris from the 740 was with us. Good to see you, Chris. Brutal Bob. Tactical Fred. Gizzard Gary. Dale Pogue is in there. I think I've covered most of you guys. Sorry if I missed you. I haven't done it intentionally. What's the AO saying here? I have a big casting project coming up, Moldy Monday. 2 weeks from now will be a 3 fur, maybe a 4 fur, 41 mag. You haven't bought a 41 mag, have you, Walter? Didn't know that you had one of those. I love that. Cool. So there you go, guys. So hopefully it was an interest. You got a little bit from it. Again, there's my email address is up there. If any of you pop it back up, there's my email address. If any of you guys want me to run over anything, if there's any new reloaders out there and you want us to run over, there's my email. Send me an email and just ask me. And if it's something I can do, we get on and do it. There's a lot of knowledge out in the side chat, and if I'm struggling, I can always ask for some help. Good night, AR. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for putting those streams up, those channels up. I really appreciate it. So any new guys, anything you want to know, if you want to run through something or you want us to do anything or use any equipment, just send me a message or drop a message, and we'll see what we can do. Like I said, if I can't help you, I will find out for you. There's enough knowledge out there with some of these guys that we're going to be able to help you and sort it out. And that's what we're here for. We're trying to share our knowledge, get more and more people involved in reloading. And yeah, that's what it's all about. Chad's saying it was 102 degrees. Yeah, we hit the 102 today. And next Tuesday, they're telling us we're going to be at 113 degrees. So it's going to be our last sort of stint before we have our monsoons coming in. We normally get our monsoons coming in the middle of July. But next week, we're going to be hitting 113, so it's going to be brutal out there. But that's why I moved to Arizona. I love it here. I love the heat. Spend all day out there. So with that said, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. Taking the time out to join me. And I really enjoy doing this. And just a quick one, we'll do Chris from the 740 Wednesday night. AR Guns 776 Thursday night. And we also got High Boy. High Boy is on a Thursday night sometimes. Friday night, we've got the Georgia Shooting Connection, Gizzard Gary. Saturday, we've got G23. I'm trying to think. Uncle Jim comes on a Saturday evening as well. Sunday, we've got the Scottish American. So, yeah, loads of streams out there to join, guys. Oh, and Hillbilly Up on Saturday night. Can't forget the great Hillbilly Up. Fantastic show. I love being on there. Some of the questions he throws at us are crazy, but some good shows there. So thanks everybody for joining us. If I don't see you during the week, we'll see you next Monday on my next stream. Have a great week and be safe, guys. And thank you so much.